Hi.
So, what brings you in here today?
Well, we talked, I guess it was like a week ago. And since then, I don't know if I told you, but I've been in this relationship for 3 years. And it just has been feeling more and more difficult and less satisfying and fulfilling to me. So last night I kind of brought that up with him, and basically he kind of suggested that maybe we like go on a break or something for a little while, to which I sort of said yes to, and then kind of realized really quickly that I actually, like, why would I go on a break if I know that I kind of, like, if I'm feeling like I want to break anyway, it's kind of like, well, then we should probably just break up. So, it was kind of hard, though, because I already, like, agreed to the break, and then so I had to, like, go back on that, and then, like, essentially, like, re-break up with him.
Wow.
So that was really difficult to process, like, in the moment with him.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah, so he was really upset and, like, surprised. And I think that we were at a point in our relationship where he was really ready to commit and take the next step forward, which I had wanted from him for, like, a really long time. And it was almost like as soon as he was ready to do that, I kind of realized that that's not what I wanted anyway. So it was a little bit, like, it was definitely confusing for him, like, and for me, because it's something that I thought I wanted was to, like, move forward into this bigger commitment, which was we were going to, like, move in together and travel together. But I've just been, realizing, and especially in the last couple of weeks since we've been talking, just more about, what I want and how to identify what feels good to me and what doesn't. And I just realized a lot of things in the relationship that I was, like, tolerating instead of, like, actually enjoying and, like, benefiting from. And so I guess last night it just kind of all came out when I started talking to him about it. Then it just seemed really obvious that it wasn't something that I wanted anymore. So it's been really, it was a really hard night having that conversation and, like, holding my boundary because he really wanted to, like, make it work and, like, stay together, and it's okay, and we'll, like, move past it, and don't you want to work on it, and, like, saying all these things, and I felt really guilty, and I felt really, like, bad for being confusing because I kind of said one thing and then changed my mind. So, like, a lot of, like, mixed feelings came up for me, and it just feeling bad, essentially, and, like, guilty for, like, ending this relationship that I've thought I really wanted and, like, been trying to really hang on to for 3 years. And now I'm kind of just sitting with that feeling of, like, did I do the right thing? Or is he right that we could, like, work on it and it could get better? Because now, basically, my hardest part was he had trouble, like, committing further into a place that I wanted to move forward into. And that was just something that I really thought I wanted. And now I don't think, even though he's saying that he can give that to me, I don't know if I want it, which feels weird to me because I think that's what I thought I've been wanting. but I'm just, in the moment it was pretty clear that I didn't, but now, you know, like, as time passes and I, like, wake up and I don't hear from him and, you know, like, get to text him or, you know, and now I'm, like, realizing, like, the depth of that decision. I'm just, like, kind of wondering if it's still what I really want, and, like, not quite knowing how to, like, sort through those feelings.
Yeah. That's a lot going on for you right now. Seems like you feel conflicted, but at the same time, I'm hearing you speak of this moment where you almost saw something and sort of changed your mind, and I'm just wondering if maybe you want to speak more about that moment. It seems really significant to you. Do you think that is maybe how you're feeling?
The moment when I decided that I didn't want to be with him, or that I didn't want the break part of it?
Either, really. Whatever you feel comfortable talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a really important moment for me because I've thought about breaking up with him a couple of times, but I never felt, like, strong enough to do it, or strong enough in the idea that I wanted it. So I think I kind of felt myself, like, wavering and being, like, going into a little bit of, like, fear of, like, oh, okay, yeah, we can, like, just be on a break. Like, that's not as scary as ending a 3-year relationship, right? Like, that feels kind of like an in-between.
Yeah.
And that felt, like, more comfortable. But then I kind of thought, and I was like, well, if I want to break from him, like, that's probably not really a healthy place to be anyway. You know, like, I don't think, like, healthy relationships, people are like, let's take a break. Like, it's kind of either, to me, I guess it feels like you're, like, in or out, and, like, what the fuck is the in-between, you know? Like, why would I fuck with an in-between thing? Like, whereas maybe in the past I would have done that, but I think I just got a little bit better at identifying that, like, that wasn't something I wanted, even though he really wanted it and was really pushing for it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of something that I agreed to because I was feeling guilty. And I was feeling like I wanted to kind of appease the situation a little bit and be like, okay, whatever you want, kind of thing. But that's, like, been my pattern in the whole relationship of, like, doing that. So I also noticed that, too, in the moment.
Wow.
So that was a big thing. And then I was finally able to just say, like, that's not what I wanted. But,
that's beautiful. That's a lot of noticing. It's a lot of really beautiful self-realizations.
Yeah. Thank you. So, I'm starting to become more aware of myself and how I feel and how I act and what drives my choices. But like I said, even though it felt clear in the moment, like, right now it's feeling really kind of more blurry and confusing because, like, I really miss him, you know. Like, I really miss him, of course. It's been, like, 3 years, and, you know, I'm getting older, and I, like, want a partner, and I really thought he was going to be that one that I, like, would be with forever and whatever, and it just feels really overwhelming to try to, like, look for that again, and like, all those feelings are coming up now, and kind of just, like, did I make the right choice? Like, was he the right one? Would it be better, like, if he committed and he was able to, which he was, like, saying he was, like, would he actually be able to do that? Like, I don't want to wait around, but I also don't want to like give up on something that I've put so much time and energy into for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I'm just feeling kind of conflicted about that at this point.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's a lot going on. So tell me more about these feelings of conflictedness that you're describing. What do you feel like is really your most conflicting, most holding back feeling right now? I've heard you talk a lot about fear and guilt.
It's like fear and kind of like doubting myself and my decision. Like the kind of what if, like fear, like what if he was the one, What if it would have been different? And I guess there's just like no way to know. But there's also like the fear of like being on my own, like being alone and feeling alone, and like not having that person there all the time. And I've been in a lot of relationships in my life, and I've kind of always like depended on other people, and I think that's also why I like stayed for so long, maybe because of the fear of like not having someone. So I don't know how much of me wanting to be with him is just like wanting to be with someone versus like it being about him and like actually the person that he is.
Yeah. So if I understand, it seems more like you're questioning whether or not you're just wanting to be with him to have someone to be with, or whether he's really the most compatible, right person for you to be with in terms of your growth, in terms of your happiness. Yeah. It's a really hard thing to consider.
Yeah, I just don't know how to like tell the difference right now because it's so new, and they just feel like one and the same feeling. Like it's hard to separate them because I feel both of them so strongly that it's just kind of confusing. Whereas last night it felt really clear when I was with him. So that's also confusing of like what happened. Like why do I feel so confused now and I felt like so clear in the moment. Well, after the when I went back on the break kind of thing. But in the breakup moment, like official breakup moment, like it was super clear. But now that I'm not with him, it's like, oh, I miss him, and I'm like, can I do this by myself? Like, what if he would change, and what if I don't meet anyone else, Yeah. Like, that's really scary for me.
Those are scary thoughts. Can you tell me more about maybe what you want in a partner?
Well, I think something with him that I really was looking for, really wanted that, like, he couldn't provide or didn't, was almost like, I don't want to say like